So I've been asked a few times how I get my super close-up pictures and videos. Sometimes you'll see my high-speed videos are really close up to something tiny, and I'm only using a consumer camera. I don't have, it's not a DSLR, doesn't have interchangeable lenses. So to get close-up macro video, macro pictures like you get from a DSLR macro lens, I use this, which is a macro filter from Raynox, and I'll have a link to them in the description. This is listed on their website as the DCR-250, and on the lens itself it says the M250. It comes with this universal adapter ring, and that'll let you clip it onto any camera thread between 52 and 67 millimeters. Some cameras will need an extension tube if the lens of the camera moves in and out when it zooms. But on my Casio camera, the EXF1, and my Sony camera, the H9, I lucked out and I didn't have to buy any extra parts in order to mount this lens on either of those cameras. So just for comparison, I'm going to get my Damascus steel knife again. You can see a lot of the detail with just the regular Casio lens, but once you put this macro filter on, there's quite a bit of difference. One of the issues with using a macro filter like this is it's incredibly hard to focus. I have my camera set to manual focus, so it's not trying to autofocus all the time, and I'm actually using my tripod, cranking it up and down in order to focus the camera. That's really the only way you can do it. I've shot some handheld video, but it's very difficult. The depth of field is only a few millimeters deep, so if your subject, I'm usually chasing bugs and spiders, moves a few millimeters away or a few millimeters towards you, you have to move the camera the same distance. When you have a sizable camera, like the Casio isn't a small camera at all, moving it accurately a few millimeters at a time really isn't easy to do. So I usually shoot with a tripod whenever I'm using the Raynox filter. You can kind of counteract that narrow depth of field by using a smaller aperture. My Casio will give me I think f10 or f8, which gives me a little bit more room to play, but really not a whole lot. You also run into problems with light. Right now I have a 50-watt halogen light bulb literally inches away from this to light it up, and there's still some fairly dark spots. When I try to record things in high speed, I usually have two 500-watt halogen treble lights pointed at the subject, whatever it happens to be, and if I'm trying to get a video of a spider jumping or an ant walking, this is a really big problem because they don't want to be in the middle of a 1,000-watt electric oven. So I hope this helped anyone out who wants to get into macro photography or video. It takes a little getting used to, but this is definitely the cheapest way to get into it. This lens cost me about $90 as opposed to buying a proper macro lens for a DSLR camera.